Hello, MCPS Gymnastics coaches. My name is Kevin O'Neill, and I'm here today to walk you through your new gymnastics meet scoring program that will be used in MCPS, hopefully moving forward. I do want to let you guys know before I start going over the details and how this whole thing works. If you guys have any suggestions, have any questions or concerns, or certainly if something's not working right or the way you expect it to in the spreadsheet, please reach out and contact me and let me know. I'm Kevin O'Neill on Outlook. I'm also the Assistant Athletic Director at Wooten, so you should be able to find my contact information on the Wooten Athletics page as well. I am going to go over a couple details that don't necessarily apply to everyone, but I'd like this video to work in the future in case we have changes in coaches, changes in sport director, all that kind of stuff. So I am going to go over a couple things right at the beginning that are specific to the sport directors. It won't take long, and it'll also help all the coaches understand how the sheet is working. So what you guys will essentially do is the sheet will be set up and all the rosters will be added to it at the start of the season, and that will be taken care of by your sport director. Once that's done, the sheet for the season that has all the current athletes for the current season will be shared, or it'll be shared online with all the coaches. When the coaches are getting ready to host a meet or they need to use the scoring system, it's going to be my suggestion that they just open up the spreadsheet and they just go up to File and make a copy for each new event. That will let you save and log all your previous events. There are also ways to print and store the results as PDFs, but the way that I have the spreadsheet set up, and so that you guys don't have to clear out all the previous results, is that you guys will just have a blank one with all the rosters and all the athletes' names, and each time you're starting a new event, you'll just make a copy of the blank template. Okay, so talking about rostering, again, this is more for your sport director, but we do have the season roster tab here down at the bottom all the way over. For the most part, it will be hidden to you guys, but kind of helps you understand how the program works if you can kind of see this. I've just thrown some names in there. BCC lucked out with some big transfers. Simone Biles will be competing for the Barons this year, and I just threw a couple other gymnast names in there so that you guys can kind of see how the program works. But at the start of the season, your sport director, who again is Amanda Pierce right now, she's going to roster all your athletes, and this will be their numbers and their roster positions for the entire season. So again, this should be taken care of. This should not be something that the coaches have to do. This is something that your sport director will take care of when she gets your rosters. He or she gets the rosters. They'll roster all the athletes, assign them their numbers, and they'll be locked in for the season. So these will be our season rosters. And again, once Amanda or your sport director is done rostering all your athletes, that will probably be hidden because it doesn't need to be edited or manipulated or anything like that. Okay. But that's where all the names, numbers, and everything else will come from. The majority of what you guys are going to be doing, or whoever's keeping score for your meets is going to be doing, will happen on the score entry tab down at the bottom. But as you can see, there's nothing in there. There's no gymnast names. There's no numbers. There's no team names or anything like that. To pull all that information in, we have to do our event setup first, okay? So let's say I'm going to set up a dual meet between BCC and Blake. Before I start doing this, I would make myself a copy. So let me just demonstrate the whole procedure here. So again, this would be after your sport director has rostered all of the gymnasts, they should make this public and share this with all of the gymnastics coaches. So when a coach is getting ready to host a meet, they go to the blank template, they make a copy, and I would just call this something like, this is going to be BCC versus, we'll go BCC versus Blake. Okay. So when I do that, I'll get a brand new sheet that opens up. I don't need the blank template anymore. And I'm going to go ahead and do my event setup as soon as this is done loading. Shouldn't go this slow. It's going a little slow because I'm recording this as well. Should move a little bit faster for you guys, but let me give it a second to load up. So once we are loaded up here, guys, again, I'm going to start with my fresh copy here that I've given a name to. This is BCC versus Blake. You might want to throw a date in there as well, but I'm going to say my event title is BCC versus Blake. Let's just go with today's date. This is 4/15/21, and location, let's say Blake is hosting. Okay. So to pull all that information in, those teams and those gymnast numbers and the gymnast names from that season roster, we do have to identify who's going to be competing in this meet. So I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, this is BCC, and yes, this is Blake. Okay. You don't have to enter in no's for the other ones. As long as there's not a yes there, they won't be pulled in. But now we should start to see on our score entry tab program's thinking over here a little bit. But we can see, hey, we've got Simone Biles and Shannon Miller. This is BCC. This is Blake over here. It's pulled in all their roster numbers and all that stuff. Okay. So again, until you do your event setup, that's really all that needs to be done on the event setup. That's going to pull in all your athletes and all their numbers and set up your scoring entry system. So as the event goes on, really most of what you guys are doing is going to be on this page here. Whoever's at the scores table is going to be just entering things in. So let's say Simone had a great day. Not 101. That's not possible. Say Shannon Miller had an okay day. Not quite as good a day as Simone. I'm going to try and get some intentional ties in there so you guys can see how some of this stuff is working. Let me get another 9.5 for vault. 8.8. Let's go. 9.2 and 8.3. And then let me try and get a tie here with somebody. So let me go with a 10. And 8.2 and 9.4 and 8.0. So I tried to kind of do this intentionally. We've got a tie here for vault. We had 2 10s and 2 9.5s. We do have a tie in the overall as well. I could keep entering in single events here. I don't have to enter in all events for all athletes. It'll just pull whatever they are participating in. And up at the top here, it's also going to pull for the team what was the combination of the 5 best vault scores, 5 best bar, 5 best beam, 5 best floor, and it will total all that up for your all-around score. So we do have a summary tab here. And again, this is where you'll be entering in all the scores for all your athletes. And as that's entered, we'll see the summary tab here, update. This has pulled in all the information from our event setup here. Now we can see our team scores. We also have a little summary here with the results from the vault, the results from the bars, beam, floor, and all around. The summary page only reports back the top 10, but you can access more results through the individual results page. So if I continue over here to like vault results, well, I can see, hey, we had a tie here. 2 of them scored a 10 out of 10, but the program should break the tie. It should notify you, hey, there was a tie for their basic score. And it should also pull, if there's a tie, it should give you their all around. Say, oh, well, they tied for this, but the person with the higher all around score wins. So that's going to put Simone up on top. Same thing down here. We had 2 9.5s, but Gabby's all around score was higher. So even though they're tied in 3rd position there, they are placed in the correct order. Same thing if we keep going through bars, no ties here for bars. So we just see everything come out 10, 8.8, 8.7, and it does give you the how far their score were they off from first. The all around score will only show up in the event of the tie. So same thing for beams. And again, even if an athlete just competed in one event, they'll show up in that single event. Only if they competed in multiple events will they get dumped into the all around results. So here again, we do have a tie here for our all-around in 3rd place between Nastia and Shannon. They're both at a 35.6, but the program should also give you, hey, Nastia had a 10 on an event and Shannon's highest score was a 9.5. So that will put Nastia up as the higher placer there, okay? These individual pages here, guys, these are mainly intended for printing and saving your results. And again, the summary will only give you the top 10. This page will give you all the results of anybody who competed in that event in the entire competition. So since this is mainly for printing, guys, the easiest way to print it and to print it without wasting a lot of paper and pages and ink is just to click here at the top and drag down. If you click in this top bar here with the title of the event, it'll let you select all of the columns associated with that. And we're just going to drag down until we have the last athlete there. We're going to do a file and print. Again, we don't want to print everything in the current sheet. We just want to print what we've selected, those athletes who are participating, and we know they're participating. It's probably going to be a little better to print this portrait, and I do like the fit to width. It should already fit on a single page, but everybody's printer and computer is a little different, so I suggest the fit to width. When you do that, you can just go to next, and you should be able to have the option to, again, this is going very slow because I'm recording. Thank you for your patience. This is going to give me the option to actually print this a hard copy to a printer, or it will allow me to save as a PDF if I want an electronic copy of that. So save as a PDF would let me save this file permanently, or I could find a printer at my school and actually print that out. Okay, so that would be one way to save this. But again, since each event is going to have its own sheet, you guys will have this BCC and Blake sheet saved permanently, so you have access to all of your results. Okay, that is pretty much it for the most part. There are some other bells and whistles and some fancy things I tried to throw in here, guys. The sheet is actually set up to print out scoring cards for you. If we are comfortable, I would like to get comfortable with the basic scoring system first, and then we'll roll out those other bells and whistles. But it does have a way for you guys to identify who's competing in each event and print out their scoring cards for them with their names and their numbers and their schools and all that kind of stuff. So let's just start with the basics here, guys, and make sure everybody feels comfortable about how to set up their event, how to enter scores, and how to view and access those results. Again, if you guys have any questions or concerns about that, or if you need any help, or if you have any suggestions for improvement, I am all ears and I'm here to support you guys. So please let me know. Again, Kevin O'Neill on Outlook, or if you go to the Wooten Athletics website, I should be listed as the assistant AD, and you guys should be able to find my contact information there. I hope this works out well for you guys. Please let me know if you run into any problems, what they are, or if you just have any suggestions for improvements that could be made here. I am all ears. Please let me know. Otherwise, enjoy, and I hope this makes you guys' life a little bit easier.